Welcome to the Dope and Tape Show, everybody. This is episode 92. Isn't that crazy? We have Matt Bass, right? Matt Bass, that's your name? That guy?
Yes, sir.
We had him on a couple weeks ago, and we didn't even dig like anywhere even close to his career and his experiences, and then we just had a blast, and so we had to have him on again. And I was pumped. I was talking to Bobby earlier today, and I was like, let's Matt Bass,
let's
right?
get this thing going
Bass,
early.
I'm
freaking excited,
that guy,
man.
I am pumped. So super happy to get you back in here. And Bobby, do you remember what episode he was on? Was it 90, right?
I don't think it was 90. I think it was before that. But I am going to pull it up right now. Matt was on 87. So just a few episodes ago. We're on 92 now. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. If you're just joining us now or you're watching the replay, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It really helps. Thank you so much if you've already done so. Let's see. We're live on Twitch. We're live on YouTube.
All right, let's get the party started. Come on.
Let's go. Where did we leave off last time? I forget. We were talking about all kinds of stuff. The hour goes by quick once we get on a topic.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Man.
That's the problem with any of us sprinkle people is you get on a topic and you start talking about, business stories. I mean, hell, that's what most of us do for all of our career. I got friends and, even after 20 years, we still tell the same dumb old stories, dumb stuff we did back in the day. So
a couple of them stories just stand out. You got to always tell them, right? Brian always tells us the same couple stories.
Yeah. I got a lot of stories, man. Got a lot of stories.
Because me and my friends, we saw the same story, and by now, we're like, okay, guys, we already know the damn story. You told it 100 times now. I mean, nothing's
no,
right?
You're that old guy,
It's awesome.
That old guy that's like the manager of the place, and you're like, one time we were over here, and it's like, and then the guy that you're talking to is like, man, I've heard this like 6 times, and he's just like nodding his head.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's see. We got nobody commenting. Oh, here's Steve. All right, we'll get Steve. Yo, what up, Steve?
What's up, Steve? So, now
first one is
you
best
are,
dressed.
was it professional or fire protection certified professional? What is that certification?
It's the Certified Fire Protection Specialist. It's through NFPA, which was one of the reasons I thought, it was, good to go after. That's a good backer to say, the same organization that, writes our codes and standards also has some certifications like NICET. So, I'm one of those people, I always try to push, my own people to go and, go after the next, hardest challenge. And I told myself I had to be the same example. And so I looked around and some of the people I talked to, I saw the CFPS after their email signature. I said, hey, what is that? And they told me about it. And as soon as a few of the people told me that, if you get it, you'll be like one of only 2,000 active people in the United States. I was like, done, sold, and, I think there's like 3,000 active in the whole world. So, just going after it. I mean, it's a little different than NICET, but, people, I even had a conversation just yesterday, a friend of mine that reached out and asked about it and, asked, how to go for it. And, even I think Mike that was on a few weeks ago, I helped him, with some advice on going for the CFPS. It's definitely a recognition certification, because a lot of people in our industry have it, like the Bob Caputos, Tracy Bellamy's, Tom Parishes, all those big industry people in our industry have them. So I figured if they got it, I want to be.
All right, well, let's just give us the quick rundown on if someone wanted to get it. I mean, how do you get it?
Well, what I want to know before we get into that, what are the benefits of having it? Like you get a couple letters after your name.
Good question. You got to put yourself on HD, Bri.
Yeah, you probably the biggest thing people always ask is like, hey, do you make, any major money with it or anything? I said, honestly, I just wanted the mad recognition. As soon as I passed it, people that I never even knew were, messaging me and saying, man, congrats for doing that. It's huge. You got the CFPS. I really didn't make the money with it until I came to where I'm at now, working for Amazon. Most of the people that look for this, the specific of the CFPS is usually like in consulting, insurance, and specific companies like where I'm at now. They actually were looking for people who had that qualification. And a lot of locations, like for consulting, if you have they'll usually either want like an FPE for a fire protection engineer, or they'll say equivalent, education with the CFPS. So, to me, I was, again, I think we talked about last time, with NICET and trying to distinguish yourself, from the people around you. People always ask me, why'd you get it? And I said, honestly, it helps my resume look dang good. It opens doors for me because people see I've got a certification that's above and beyond what most other people may have in the industry, whether they know anything about it or not. I can say it's from NFPA, and I can put it on my resume. I can put it on my business cards.
Put it right on LinkedIn.
Oh yeah, it's on there.
I see you.
Yeah. But it was more for the recognition and the challenge than anything about the money. I think sometimes people lose that side of it. That sometimes just saying I tackled something that was one of the hardest exams in fire protection, and I passed it the first time. With a lot of help from a lot of people, a lot of guidance. So that's really why I did it. I think if you try to go into consulting or like in places like where I'm working now, that's where they really look for it. You may also see like in government work, for like ITM contracts, they may want somebody who's a CFPS. But again, it looks good on the wall, and I've tried to help other people go after it. And then probably in my career since getting it, I've probably helped at least 20 different people, and most of them I didn't know because I got them. I knew them from the Facebook groups or LinkedIn, and they reached out and said, "Hey, man, it looks like you're doing well with it, and how can I go do it?" So, it's one of the things I love doing is passing the knowledge to someone else and see if they can go after it.
That's awesome. Well, maybe that's something I want to do.
Yeah,
how much does it cost?
It's not much, and most of the qualifications for people like us that come from the field is you only need six years of experience to go after it. What makes it difficult? Wow. I mean, the test itself is 100 questions. You have 3 hours. It's very similar to NICET as far as the format and answering the easy questions, then going to medium questions and the hard questions. What makes it the most difficult is that the fire protection handbook covers everything in fire protection. So it's not just ITM, 25 or NFP stuff. You're talking like egress, construction materials, fire apparatus. So what makes it the most difficult exam in fire protection is that most of us that don't know those things, we don't talk about egress in hospitals or schools for how many people are in the building. And so reading a question that you don't know much about and trying to find the keyword or phrase to go find it in these two big ass books, that's what makes it difficult, because the ITM portion of it is maybe like 2 questions in the whole exam. And I think the 2 questions I had were like, what temperature rating is the arms of a head that's painted white? It was so easy. But, after that, it was like, what size, hallway do you need in a hospital with an occupancy of, this many people? Like, what size hallway do you need? And I was like, how the hell do I know?
Shit.
So let me ask you this. So in January, I'm gonna get my level 3 in inspection and testing. What I'm gonna do is I did it twice, and I failed by like maybe 2. Like my score from passing and then my score was ridiculously close. I think I was off by 5 both times, and I think where I had an issue was corrosion, because in NFPA 25 they don't go into the corrosion, how it looks and how to identify it and all that stuff. But then on the test it asked you in depth, and you're like, wait, what?
Which test is this?
It's level 3 NFPA 25, so inspection and testing water-based systems. So I think what I'm gonna do, which is a lot of my friends have done, is get the fire tech school and just run through that sucker like 4 or 5 times and go take the test. So in January, I'm going to handle that and knock it out and get that done. And then I was debating, which I wanted to talk to you about this. I think, you're the certified king over here. So I wanted to talk to you, get your opinion. And I was thinking about what route I want to go into. So I was thinking I'll get my engineering certifications 1 and 2, but I have zero interest in engineering. I want to know how to calc. I want to know all the information, but I have zero interest in actually doing the job. And I know in order to get your level 3, you actually have to have some time doing design. But look, as my youngest son says, I'm not that guy. All right. So, you know,
You and me both. So,
yeah. My son, little story. Bobby loves the derailing stories. So here's a little story. My youngest son, he's 7.
Crazy, long,
He
drawn
plays
out.
t-ball, and and I asked him, I was like, "What do you think about t-ball, man? What do you think?" I guess now it's just like softball, but he was like, I'm not that guy." I was like, "What do you mean you're not that guy?" He's like, "I'm more of a dodgeball guy." He was like, it's out of nowhere.
Turbo Rito says you get $1 for nice at 1, $2 for nice at 2, $3 for nice at 3, so that you can get a $6 raise per hour just by
That's
taking
good.
those tests. That's a good incentive right there.
That is. So,
yeah,
with your opinion, should I get my level 2 in design, or should I just go and hunker down and get that certification that you're talking about?
I mean, the level 3 layout and design probably will help you more if you ever want to start your own company. There's a lot of states that if you even want to even think about making your, doing your own company, you have to have that at least one person in the, the company yourself or someone have that level 3. And again, it really depends on the path you're going for. I mean, because like for someone like me who's doing ITM, I mean, I have really no need for design. I did design for like a month, and the company I had it with, they still want me to do it, on paper and drafting a table and everything. And I'm like, screw
Gosh,
this. Give me a dang computer. I'm old enough, but nowadays I think, most people who go out for the layout and design, it's usually because it's a requirement in their state if they want to get like, open another like a new office or, open up their own company. Um, but just to learn it, there's lots of companies out there. There's a gentleman named Cecil Bilbo. He has an academy that can teach all the calculations and everything, and he's in one of the Facebook group. There's a design group. If you ever want to go into that one, it's probably a good one to at least reach out to and ask a lot of people. Because I'm in there and I promote a lot of those same people because they have some good classes. Another gentleman named Travis, he's a great designer, and actually a lot of the people in NFPA and AFSA, like the Bob Caputos and the Tracy Bellamy's and all them, most of them have a design background. That's how they have all that knowledge and wisdom. So a lot of Bob Caputo, I think, used to teach a lot of the hand calculations for layout. So it's definitely good to have. I mean, because you can definitely use it for stuff. But for me personally, I think I had level 1 layout for a while, and I basically just let it go after a little bit.
so I think you solved it for me. I think I'll go ahead and get that fire protection certification, and then I can put the letters next to my name. That'll be so cool. It's like a doctor, right?
That's why I wanted it. I mean, people always ask me, because I always just put the acronym CFPS, and they also always ask me what it is. And the thing is, it sparked my interest, and it sparked quite a few people that I know that went after it, and they just saw it in me. Also, I posted in the groups a lot, just saying, "Hey, look, it's just again, if you like challenges in fire protection, most people who take it will tell you it's one of the hardest exams in fire protection, next to going to be, getting like a full engineering degree." And I say, if you like challenges, and trust me, that's one of those little stories I tell people. When I took it, I was so defeated. I mean, most of my NICET exams, I can tell you, I was always a good test taker, and I could walk out with it like, usually with like 10, 20 minutes left over because I was,
Dang.
crushing it. The CFPS, I walked out like literally down to like the second it was telling me, to hit the timer to end the exam. And the proctor wasn't sitting at the desk, and I was walking out going, "F this! I failed that thing so bad." I mean, I knew I did okay, so I started leaving the building, and next thing I know, she started chasing after me. She's like, "Mr. Bass, where are you going?" I was like, "Screw it! I don't even want to know how bad I lost that." And she goes, "No, you passed," and I'm like, "I don't know how
What?
I passed that." And I said it must have been, because like the minimum that you have to get is like a 70. I said I must have gotten like a 69.5, and they rounded it up to give it to me. I said, but I
Did you
passed. So
tear up? Did you tear up?
hell yeah.
Did you hear?
Dude, I did my first level 1. Man, I did. I just felt so much pressure.
Are you filming
Um,
on a Nextel, Bry?
no, I got my same
Did
thing.
you put that thing on 1080 once you reset up in your neighbor's unit? In your neighbor's porch now?
Yeah.
Put that thing on 1080p, kid.
It is. Let's see here.
You got us on 360?
No, it's HD. Do I need to
Oh,
get a new camera, you think?
that doesn't look no HD to me.
Am I like a little fuzzy? Anyway, we'll figure it out later. All right. You know, me and my stories and
the
you with your
corrosion questions in
grilling.
the annex.
No one wants to care about my quality of my camera right now, okay?
Yeah, see,
Can we get back to
I
fire
bet you that I
protection?
just made at least a couple people laugh where your stories are just long and drawn out. It's all right. We'll listen to both. You know why? Because we can. You can't talk the pipe guys up. Just kidding. Tab the tables, tab the sprinkler types, highlight the ITM in every chapter, every sprinkler chapter, tab every annex, highlight procedures. Turbo, oh yeah, Turbo says the questions are in the annex and the rest in the tables. Highlight and tab everything in your book.
Yeah, level 3 has a lot of stuff in the annex. A lot of people, forget to look in there because that's where you're gonna. And also, like on the NICEP website, it actually has the content outline that shows you by percentage what's on the exam. So I always tell people, that's actually one of the biggest jokes in the groups is people will post, and I'll tell them, did you even go to the NICEP website and even look around because it has, basically everything you could ask. Right, every question you could want is right there. But if you get to level 3, mad kudos to you. I know a lot of people who get it, and it definitely helps them in their career.
Tommy brought a calculator? I didn't know I could bring a calculator for my Syracuse test. Oh, he didn't. My scrap paper looked like the writings of a madman, long form division and multiplication.
You can't bring one, but they should provide it.
Update required on Twitch. What's up, Dope and Tape?
Here on Southeast,
What
we use
defines
Pearson
level
View.
3? What defines level 3?
Well, there's certifications: level 1, level 2, level
Rephrase
3.
that question, Chandler.
It's also the years of experience. Level 1 is like 6 months. Level
Motherfuckers.
2
17 use in here, and there's only 4 likes.
And then what? Level 3's
That's right.
5 years, I believe.
Where is it? It's over here.
What's cool
It's
in
like over here.
Georgia is that you have
Hit
to
the like
have
button.
a level 2 in hand and then level 2 level of experience in order to gain a inspection license for water-based systems. Before, you can get a waiver at 6 months and rock and roll. You can touch anything you want.
Your
So I'm
audio
still-
your audio quality is like top notch. Just your video kind of is just lacking.
Bob, can we move on? All right.
I was going to ask, do all the videos of him always had to have like the tight pants with him and everything?
Oh, bro, it's my legs, bro.
It's not your
Right?
legs, dude. You gotta size up. You gotta size it up, bro.
This is my size. Like without a belt, they fit great. If I go up, they go up by what, 2 sizes? It's my ass too, man.
It should go up by one. You should be able to
my
go
big
up by
old
one.
ass pulls them.
You should be able to
You
just
know
go up
why
by
I bought
one
those?
size, and then you
Look,
get a little bit of room in the
jeans
thighs.
are like those jeans are like $125 because I need the double belt loop in the back.
That's why you
ass.
bought them?
Yeah,
There's got to be
them.
another jean that can have a double belt loop, or just
I
get
don't
a
know. I
size
haven't
up that
found it,
fits
and
that
it
thing.
stretches.
You know?
Yeah, because of his tight pants, I had to stop showing my wife. My wife wanted to know who I was talking to, so I was showing her some pictures, and she was like,
Damn.
"Huh?" And I said, "No, no, 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 no."
Brian, so the jeans were $120. I understand you got them in high school. You got to let them go, bro.
I just got them.
You've grown out of those
I
things.
just got them. No, I did get a different. Well, my wife got me all black pair of the same ones, and they do fit a little looser.
Hit the like button. Brian is
definitely
a skinny jean guy. For sure, he pulls it off. He's got to show the curves out. Skinny jeans and flip flops for inspections. Dude, at least he does it confident.
Hey, when you get to my level, all right, you
right?
can wear your flip flops too. That's like CIA level, all right. That's above tier 1. I get out of the truck with 0 fucks.
That's like
okay?
9 out of 10 guys would have been like,
"Oh
shit, I had the flip flops on. I can't post that." Brian's like, "Fuck it, send."
Send it. Man, it was like 2 a.m. on a Saturday, and my wife was super good sport because it was actually a date weekend. We were at a hotel. I was like, bro, I gotta go because my guys, he's been out since like 5 a.m. It's 2 a.m. and I told him to go home, get some coffee, get a sandwich, relax for a little bit, then come out and meet me. And I told her, I was like, I gotta pick up the slack and give this guy a rest. He's got to be able to like chill for a second. I'm sure he's dying. So she was like, okay, let's go. And she was game until she smelled that sprinkler water, and she was like, I'm done. I'm out of here. I'll be in the truck.
It smells good.
Gagging and everything.
Oh, Chandler's got 5 years this week.
Huh?
Chandler. He's got 5 years this week in the business.
5 years. Congratulations.
What defines level 3? I think they're talking about nice at level 1, 2, and 3, but level 3,
Right.
like a level 3 apprentice is usually, I don't know, in his third year, no?
I don't think there is a level 3 apprentice. You're just an apprentice.
Is Daryl missing this Brian roast session? I think he is. I don't see Daryl.
His wife probably needs him.
That was good. That was
Daryl, get in here and
everyone's wife wants a piece of Bri. Becky, what's going on?
What's up, Becky?
Ask Matt about the worst inspections, the best locations, the stupidest shit he's seen. I got sent to a titty bar for an inspection during work hours. It was awesome. Oh wow, that'd be a good inspection.
So me and my apprentice.
You said to ask Matt.
Matt,
yeah,
I've done a strip club.
He said to ask Matt though.
At like 3 p.m.
Yeah.
With my apprentice. Yeah.
Ooh, were you your apprentice?
Yeah, and then my apprentice has been dating my sister for like 11 years. I'm like, bro, close your eyes the whole time. It's like, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? Do your job.
An exciting day to be an inspector. We're checking
we're
checking every sprinkler head in this place twice, boys.
We got the light just looking. This girl's swinging on the poles. It was very awkward. I was ready to get out of there. I'm gonna be honest. You ever done one, Matt?
I think we all got that. Unfortunately, it was only during the day. It was the day shift.
Yeah, it was when the guys were in there with ladder trucks getting their lunch.
Yeah, they're getting lunch. All right.
What was like one of the worst times that you done an inspection and it just went bad? It was just like a bad decision, or you didn't make the right call, or the location was rough.
Honestly, it was like one of those little stories. Being construction as long as I have, we used to always hit the 7-Elevens or the convenience stores and get like Slim Jims and stuff. That was like my go-to in the morning, And then when I moved to North Carolina, I actually got to do an inspection at a Conagra plant where they made the Slim Jims. I was so excited. I was like, oh man, I'm going to walk in and out of there. I'm going to be like, walking out with all these Slim Jims. It was the nastiest smell I had ever had in my life. And seeing how they made the Slim Jim, I mean, it took me all day to get out of my mind how nasty it was, and the smell. I still have it to this day. I ever since that inspection, I've never been able to touch a Slim Jim after that.
I installed a special hazard system at it was a dog and cat food processing plant. And terrible.
Yeah, down here in North Carolina, we have a bunch of them. I remember the first time we went to a turkey processing plant, and of course, I'm the dumb young kid going, "Hey, how do y'all kill the turkeys?" The guy goes, "Well, come over here, youngie. There's a window right here. You can watch it." And I was like, and you're thinking that okay, they're gonna like humanely do it, and they literally just hung them upside down, and it goes to like this corner. I said, "Oh, so you guys basically shear the head off like." Really quickly. He goes, nope, keep watching. And literally as the turkey's going, the head gets caught in the corner and the machine just keeps going and it rips it right off. And, those processing plants, like, they have like these little troughs everywhere where all the goodies are, flowing around. And
it's like a river, the chicken plant has like a river of just, whoa, And one time I was at I'm going to say extended stay. It wasn't the brand extended stay. One of my friends has that account for fire protection, and it's a great chain of hotels. But what I mean by extended stay is that they had kitchens in the room. I just don't remember the name. And then typically, if us industry guys know them as they're all extended stays. So I was there.
All right, thanks. Now we got that out of the way.
Yeah, now that we get out of the way. Well, I mean, you wouldn't know, Bobby. You just stayed in you just went home every night.
What? We could have just saved 40 seconds.
You had no idea.
We could have just saved fucking 40 seconds. Extended stay. You said extended stay 6 times. I'm screen.
That's because I didn't.
I'm fucking screen recording that, making a reel with that.
I didn't want it to be confused with the brand name. And
no, yeah, like extended stays listening to us, making sure we're not fucking talking shit about them. We're at 24 minutes.
No, but it's respectful.
24
minutes. It is respectful to the brand. All right.
Yeah. All right. Go
ahead.
Like
I was saying, I did the inspection there. I was an apprentice. I did it with my dad, and man, it was rough. Every single room we went into, it was like this drug dealers and this like rough areas, and then like there was like hookers hanging out, and then propped open doors, and we went to lunch because we just we had to get this inspection done. My dad was like, "Where do you want to go eat?" And I was like, "I want to go take a shower. Like I'm done. I want to go take a shower and just go home."
Oh, people live in those ones, right? Those are the ones that like
Yeah.
they'll post
Oh yeah.
people in there.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
stay for like 2 weeks, 3 months. When I did a 3 month contract, well, it was an inspection, and I was head of that inspection. It took 3 months. It was a hospital, and I ended up getting me and my guys like an extended apartment. It was a nice apartment, but I didn't do the hotel style. I did a furnished apartment, and that was the way to go. And it was actually a lot cheaper than hotels going for
Yep.
that 3 month stint. And I just made, every week I got a cleaning lady come through there, and I just made sure that the guys washed the sheets and then changed them before the other guys. And then I would have a 6-man crew, and then we would swap, and it worked out great.
We got this recycle facility that's north of me, and it's like it's everybody's kryptonite. Like if you get a call and you're going there, you're just gonna have like the most awful day. You know what a possum is? You got
Oh yeah.
You got possums? Yeah, there's rats the size of possums in this place.
What?
Dude, like the
They
biggest
don't
rat,
kill
the
them
biggest. I mean, not necessarily. No.
like New York?
Yeah, there's too many of them. You can't kill them. But yeah, it's
Whoa.
a great place to
Can't even
work.
get a
That's like
cat
that's
big
like the
enough to kill something
like
like
you
that.
don't want to work there. Like if someone that never calls out, you get a call, you're going there, you're calling out. Not going to that fucking place. Sorry.
Oh
And
man.
the good thing with inspections, you guys are talking about like some of the best places. We always get the crap ones, but honestly, that's why I love inspections is because some of the best places I ever did were like museums, military places, stuff like that, where you see stuff you just will never see, or you get to see like the back parts of buildings that people don't ever get to see. Probably one of the best ones I had is we had one of the brand new casinos in Maryland. It was the MGM casino, and we were the first contractor to do the ITM on there. And when it came time for New Year's, they actually contracted us and asked us if we could bring in 2 technicians to work on double time to basically sit the fire control panel. Mind you, the fire control panel was in the security room. So I told my guys, okay, look over here at the fire panels. What I'm trying to pay you to watch. I'm not telling you to watch over here the screens for all the security cameras and all the debauchery happening in the casino and stuff, And the best thing too is they would give us like free ice cream and stuff. And big guy like me, I used to make my weekly rounds to the MGM casino and check on the guys. And they guys would be like, "You're here again?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got the ice cream, man."
That's
Oh, that's
awesome.
funny. I did a
cool.
install, and I was a sprinkler guy for this, but it was the strategic weapons facility on the Atlantic side, and it was where we maintained and we supply, or I guess house our nuclear weapons. So it was it's a submarine base, and the base actually screwed up. They gave me more clearance than I should have had.
You're worried
So
about extended stay? And then you're gonna talk about this?
yeah, yeah. And then
I guess.
I was
Okay.
able to go fishing on the dock as long as like the seals were not there in their fast attacks, because I couldn't go there
Behind the
when they were
scenes.
there. I could go and fish on the docks, and no one else was fishing because everybody else was working. So
Did you
it
catch
was great.
anything?
Oh yeah, I caught lots of fish.
All right,
I
nice.
didn't
Actually,
never kept anything, but
doing the military, living in North Carolina, we used to have what used to be called Fort Bragg. Now they call it Fort Liberty. But I got the honor of going out. I was only one of the few people that could actually get the full top secret clearance to go out to this. There's a base within Fort Bragg or Fort Liberty. It's called the Joint Operations Special Command, and it's basically where they have
yeah.
all, and it's like a base within a base. And I was the only one on our whole team that could get access. But it was so cool because you go into these buildings and the commander will come down and he's like, I already know what you're here for, Bash. You're here to do an inspection. And he said, I'm going to tell you right now, you can look from here down to the end of the hallway, and that's it. I'm like, done, sir. Everything looks good. Out of here. But part of the best part, especially coming up, with Veterans Day coming up, on the 10th, is that, we would go and do the barracks to do all the inspections. And I'm walking in this 30-year-old, person telling these kids, these military guys, hey, I'm here to do your inspection. And I'm walking in seeing all of this cool stuff from all the places they've been. And the most respectful thing was they came and they thought what I was doing was cool. And I'm like, so you think what I'm doing is cool looking at sprinkler heads like that above my head? And what you guys are doing cool. I mean, you have pictures of jumping out of helicopters and stuff, and you're thinking, I'm cool. But it was so cool though, because like these kids that were like, in their 20s, that are probably could kill me, in 2 seconds. They actually took the time to like learn, and they asked me all these kind of questions about what I was doing, what I was looking for, and so I had some mad respect for them just because, they protect us, but they were just, these young kids, asking some big fat guy in middle of North Carolina about fire protection. I'm like, you're actually interested in what I'm doing? I think what you guys do is way cooler than what I'm doing,
Wow. I did I inspected. Now it was once they cleared everything out, but I inspected the facility where they designed and engineered the F-22 Raptor. So the warehouse, all the offices, I mean, I got to see the vaults, like where they kept top secret stuff, and there was some things left behind in the drawers, and some things that I found that maybe or maybe not I left, and it was cool. It was really cool to see that.
I had to do an emergency light inspection at an adult store, and it's tricky to get to the light above the jack rooms. You don't want to be above those rooms at the wrong moment. We get to
Yeah,
see
that
some
was
behind the
probably.
scenes stuff.
I had to go do an inspection at a basically it was like a sperm bank where people would go and make their deposit. And you're doing your inspection, and you have to do your sprinkler walkthrough. So I'm looking at some heads, and I found a couple that were in this one room. And I went and asked the director. I said, "Hey, I'm trying to put a label for this room." He said, "We call that the hammer room." I said, "The hammer room."
That's awesome.
I said, "You know what? I'll put that on my report." And as soon as I went back, they're like, "Where the hell is the hammer room?" I said, "You'll find out. It's the room with the magazines in it."
That's awesome.
The
This year we
sketchy
actually
magazines.
we had some contract work at one of the major hospitals to redo. I retrofitted a blood bank and the sperm bank. So it already was a sperm bank, and they take the ceiling down, I spin the heads up, they redesign it. It's this teeny little room, and then they rebuilt it, and then I spun the head back down. And man, that was a nice room. There's like there's a TV in there and a lazy boy and a sink, and you got air conditioner, nice lazy boy. It's like I had to go back to do the plates. I'm like, is it clear? Is it, you see people going in there, you know what they're going to do in there. The
Wow.
blood bank, I'm not so really sure what's happening in there. There's a lot of vials of blood. You give them
Now we're
blood,
talking
take them
about
blood.
cool things and getting, security clearances, top secret clearances. Like that is so important to have that availability. Staying away from drugs where you can take drug tests. Like I've taken while I've been in fire protection. Since I don't do anything, I was always like the go-to for the randoms. Like, hey, Brian, go take a drug test. We gotta get someone random.
Yeah.
You know, so
Most of the jobs do it. Most of the jobs you got a drug test just to get onto now.
Oh, really? So I've done 2 blood drug tests for secret facilities, and then also for like some anything with with let's just stick with secret facilities. Like I've had to go take blood tests. So I mean
Yeah,
that goes back. I guess like years. I don't know.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I agree with you because I got to go do some mad crazy places just because I mean I might have been a nerd. I kept my record clean. I didn't have driving records because even some of the military bases, they'll go back. I had guys that had records, some stuff that happened 10 years before, and they would pull up and they would let them on base. And so because I was always that clean and whistle. People used to make a fun of it, but then I used to have all the opportunities because I would be able to go to any of the military locations, any of the government locations, universities. You can see a lot of cool stuff if you just keep yourself a little clean.
That's it.
I got
Stay
a
out of
question.
trouble.
So I was reading I'll ask this question. We get to some comments. So I was reading today my new book, and it opened with with like an interview question. So I wanted to ask you this. I want to ask you and Bobby, fire protection wise, um, what is something that you believe in is right, but most people disagree with you on?
I think for me, just being a former manager, I used to get told so many times don't get too close with your people you work with. And I used to think that was so wrong. I got very close to the people I worked with. Many of those people are lifelong friends. We call each other uncles and brothers. And I can tell you, I got way more out of them, especially when it came time for like crunch time. If I had to get a job that had to get done, because I had those relationships, those guys and gals would just do it for me. And I used to say, I think too many managers think like, building a relationship is a bad thing. I got told way too many times, Matt, you're getting too close. And I'm like, I don't think we can get closer because when I ask them to do stuff, it's not, hey, the boss is calling me, and I'm just gonna, not do it. It was, hey, Matt's calling me, he needs me. You know what I'm saying? And they would usually bend over backwards to help me because they knew I had their back and I would protect them and help them out and obviously try to promote them and get them moving up. But if I also needed something from them, they would usually deliver for me. Now, of course, they also would call me at 4 o'clock in the morning and usually bust me sometimes. And, but, I think building those relationships was way better than people telling me not to.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. You, Bobby, what do you think?
I mean, well, one thing definitely, I mean, you can see firsthand is the dope and tape. I really believe strongly of that on everything, and we get a lot of pushback. A lot of
Definitely
pushback.
in the beginning.
A lot
Like,
of
that's
pushback.
stupid. Were you gonna talk about work?
No, I'm talking about actually the sequence of dope and tape in the trade. Like a lot, like it's not. I don't think the majority of people are doing dope and tape.
Wow.
I think that there's a lot of people that are out there doing all different types of shit, and it
They need to
depends.
be more open-minded to better things.
That's it, you know. There's
You
there's no
know?
there's no podcast out there called Tape and Dope, so
Yeah, and
it
then
can't be right.
also you're not getting freaking dope all over yourself. And then also if you make up multiple drops and then you need to go, oh, I'm going to lunch, your dope's not dried out.
Oh, there's another thing that you bring up. I would move to is the break thing. Um, I don't know. I think that we should. There's got to be a way to just do away with them damn breaks.
Well, you have your bucket of crackers,
Nah, fuck the crackers too. Just
that you do.
just give them like a straight six, no stopping.
But see, I don't think, well, for one, that's illegal. But
What's illegal about? Who's saying it's
oh,
illegal? Like I go out in
uh,
my backyard and I work for 10 hours straight and I look up, I'm like, holy shit, it's been 10 hours. Well, what's illegal about it? Now I'm on the job, all of a sudden I gotta stop and fucking go
I
have a
don't know
cup
if
of
you've ever
coffee.
heard of labor laws.
Yeah, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. There's got to be incentive to it. You don't like.
So
I'm not telling
so
people to work more for less. Like you do six, you still get eight. You give like a
now you
straight
don't.
straight 7 for 8. No
Yeah, but then
breaks on the
you're just.
road after 7 hours. No traffic. We're
So you
gonna
don't
do
believe about the 11 o'clock break?
11 o'clock
You
break.
have. Well, I mean, let's just pretend you're
Never
working
in my
actual
life.
8 hours,
Never in
Bobby.
my life would I have ever or would I ever do 11 o'clock. It's always 9 and 12, bro.
I'm done. No, I was. It was like
9 and 12 is a construction break. Coffee time's at 9 a.m. Coffee truck blows up, rolls his whistle. The maggot wagon, the roach coach, whatever you want to call it. Doors fly open, steam comes out. He's got overcooked hot dogs and fucking overcooked sandwiches in tin foil. I usually just
oof.
walk up to that thing, grab like a water or grab like a bag of chips or something that's like in a wrapper that I know I can trust, like a Twix or
But
something,
I
you know?
gotta. Okay, what if you have me right? You're my general foreman, and I'm a pipe fitter. I work.
Yep.
I'm not fast. I work solid. I
You're
don't.
not fast?
Now listen,
You're not
listen,
working
listen.
on my crew.
I'm
No,
giving
you
you
already
so
fucked. You already fucked
I'm
up.
not
This is
super
it.
fast, but I
Interview's
work.
over.
I'm consistent. Okay, I'm consistent in my work, consistent in
Oh,
my work,
you're
but I
gonna be
gotta
a
eat.
you're gonna be a pain in the ass. Yeah,
You
that's what I'm saying.
cannot technically complain about that. And also you can't legally stop me after a certain amount of time.
No, I'll just let you eat, and the rest of us will fucking work. Don't worry.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with that. Get mine, baby.
Yep, sit on that bucket right there, and we're all gonna work while you fucking eat. And watch
No,
us
no,
work.
no. What you don't understand is I'm still getting mine. What you choose to do on your break is your business. But
That's
you
it.
technically and
No,
legally have to
well,
have one.
so it's a 6 o'clock start. You're gonna take a break at 9. You're gonna take a break at noon. So you're gonna work until 3, and the rest of us are gonna dip out at like 1:45, and then it's
No, no,
fair.
no. No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not. It's
yeah.
not fair because legally you
We
have to
didn't
take your
we
break
didn't waste
anyway.
time with our meal prep and trying to get our gains and all that shit. We were hanging pipe.
Because technically, legally, we would have to work the same amount of
You
hours.
keep
So then
saying
I would leave
legally,
with you.
legally,
Yeah, yeah, legally.
legally,
You're on a
legally,
job site, dude.
legally.
Which you cannot. So, all right. So, Sarah, my wife's an attorney,
I
right?
know, and now she
So
must say legally all
let
the
me
time. That's your
explain
new
this
word,
also to you.
legally.
Let me explain this to you. This
You
is
even
something
got the
that
accent.
foremen.
Say it again.
Hold on. This is what something foremen need to think about. All right.
Oh
So
shit.
let's say that this whole situation happens. I'm a consistent worker, right? I take my breaks as I'm legally obligated to do. And then you say, hey, you had to
Oh.
stay another 3 hours, get paid the same. We're going home. That is that's
No, but we worked and you took a break.
no. Listen.
No, we worked
I'm
and you
obligated
took a
to
break.
have to take a break.
Becky says only after 6 hours. You have to work 6 hours, and then legally I owe you a 0.5.
So 6 hours, I think
It's a
it's
half an
30
hour.
minutes.
Yeah.
30 minutes. You have to do half an hour.
Okay.
But you're saying no.
I'm saying you're gonna give me 7 straight with no break. I'll pay you for 8. Get your 40 and 35, and you eat on the way the fuck home.
So that would have to be a email agreement. But still, like you got to think it.
You would
You got to
never
think
be on
someone's
my
trying to get up on you, man.
You'd
You got
never
to
be on
think.
my crew. No, if the crew wants to take a break, we take a break. It's simple as
But
that.
you couldn't push me. You couldn't legally push me off because I was following the rules and the laws.
You use that word. You use that L word a lot, bro.
Well, I live with one,
I
you
generally
know, so
don't fuck
that's
with that
like
word too much.
I
Legally this,
freaking
legally
live with
that.
it. She's changed me, man.
Legally, you're
I
going to
think about
fucking.
these things
I'd
now.
say legally, you're going to Seaport and you're gonna work on the high rise over on the Seaport. All right. Fucking see
Away
you next
from
summer.
me. Away from me.
Yeah, sorry, this one's fucking a little bit dried up. They really need you over in the Seaport. Here's the address. This is the foreman's number. You're gonna go see him tomorrow. Legally, have fun.
All right, so how I ran my inspections and my jobs is I also wanted to get after it. We did take our breaks, but the rule was we eat. This was but see this was also agreed upon. Bobby, listen to this. So I need you
The
to
comments are
focus.
good. I
Hey,
gotta go on the comments for a
focus.
minute, and you just keep
Focus. We're not done
fucking
yet. One
talking.
more thing. Don't
All
cut
right,
me off. I'll go up to
all right,
boss and whoop your
all
ass,
right.
okay?
Hurry up, fly up. I got yard work to
So
do. Could
I
legally
gotta get
use
up
your
there
ass.
before the snow. I gotta get up there before the
Oh
snow.
shit! All right, hurry up.
All right, so it was agreed upon. All
Oh
right, so we
Jesus.
all agreed, and we would get started on the hardest thing first, knock that out, boom, done, and then we would get on the day. Now, when I like to eat, so when lunchtime came, we would eat, but the rule was we didn't sit down. We ate the food, we got back to work.
Woo.
I feel like when you sit down, you kind of relax, then you go back, and it's way slower. The
Well, because
thing
then
is, if you
it's
stand up,
not
you
when it's
eat,
too
you
long.
roll.
It's not an eating thing and a refueling. It's like a fucking shooting the shit and overeating, and then everybody's
No
lethargic
one wants
and
to
this and
work after
that. I
that.
know, but
No one wants to
like
work.
when
But
I
if
was
you,
in charge of the big job, the guy
yeah.
and the crew decided that they wanted to skip lunch, and so we still take our coffee break, and I think that instead of doing it at 9, I think maybe we were doing it at 10 or 9:30. Because another
Mm.
good thing to utilize and to take into consideration is that if you can work on the job when everyone else is on break, I love that.
Oh
I
no, I
if I could
agree.
take my break at 9:30 or 10 o'clock and work through that 9 o'clock period when it's quiet and all the other trades are gone, you have access to
Oh
all the lifts
yes.
and everything, and
Oh
all
my goodness.
the tin bangers aren't there just hammering away at some duck work. And same thing with noontime, but I think that it's a pretty common thing, and even though that it might be a little bit against rules, people are skipping their lunch to beat traffic at the end of the day. So instead of doing like a 6 to 2:30 and taking your two lunches, your two breaks, you're doing 6 to 2 and you're skipping lunch. And
What
that's
I
kind of
don't
a big
like,
thing.
what I do not like about contracting companies is that they make their guys clock in. And now, listen, I'm not going to speak
How
on
you clocking?
construction or service.
Who?
Well, I don't, and I've
What's
always
the
had a
system though?
mutual. Well,
Where's the
so
clock?
I've always had a mutual agreement with the manager. And then we ran really good.
Where's the clock?
So they would clock in on the app.
Oh,
And then I don't agree with this part.
I don't like
And
that.
Matt, you can chime in on your opinion too. So the inspectors would get, let's say the inspectors get 3 inspections for the day, okay? And that's their day. They get 3 inspections of the day, and they get those 3 done. They start at 9. They get them done by 1 o'clock. We all know that's not an actual 8, but that is the jobs that they had for the day. So my agreement that I've always had with the companies I work for is I will do my jobs. If it's before 2, I'll call you. If it's after 2, I go home. And then and I get my 8. And that was an agreement that I had, and I stuck to it, and I was fair. But also here's another thing too. When it came time for me to work an overtime day, like a 10, 12-hour day, I did not do overtime.
You weren't an overtime guy?
Yeah. Well, no, it was unfair. So if I went home, let's say early every day, right? When it came down to me working a long day, then I didn't do the overtimes. That is unfair. But some
You would
companies,
work the hours, but you wouldn't put
right,
in for
right,
the
right, because I
overtime.
was going home earlier, so I would be
I got
fair
you.
and honest. But a lot of
I
companies
can
say that's stealing. They want you clocked
I
in
can
for
be your
8.
translator, boo boo.
Yeah, I appreciate
I'll
that.
be your
Hey,
translator. You trying
what do
to
you think about that? I gotta go. I gotta
spit
be right back.
what? Just like that? All right. Take up. Let's see. We got a lot of comments about the break thing. I still only see. Let me see. Let me refresh this thing. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's on my end. All right, it is. I got 10 likes. All right, I like 10 likes. There's still 14 here, so there should be 14, but we'll let that go. So after 6 hours, you need a half an hour break. Okay, I like it. You gotta let that take a break when you need it and get the job done and get down the road. Service side, take your break when time allows. I like that too. If your service in between, you gotta take 669 fitter here from Vegas, laughing my ass off, quote unquote legally. First time listener, but can guarantee it's not my last. Matt, I see your posts all the time on Facebook. Keep up the great work. That's Jeffrey Van Ryn. Michael, service, eat while you work, have calls to run, money to collect. I'm a firm believer in working your straights, eat your sando in 5 minutes, leave work early. Let's go.
So what do you think about that when if you're leaving work
The way
early,
I see it, work has
like
been
the
there before
inspections,
us and will be
do
here
you
after
feel
us. Take your break or don't get
do
the
you feel
jobs
like
done.
that's stealing, or do you feel like that's the way it should be?
On the phone, busy, busy.
No, that's the way one of my first ITM managers told me. He was very old school. He said, "Look, Bass," he said, "I know most of you guys are getting my 8 hour jobs done in like 5, 6 hours." He said, "But he said, all I'm going to ask you is just for respect." He said, "Give me the courtesy of a phone call and let me know that you're done." He said, "Because he said 99% of the time I'll send you home with 8 hours." He said, "But that one time, if I need you to go help, instead of you going home, at 11 o'clock and your helper, the one time I may need you to go help these other two guys so they can get done too, don't bust me on it." And I said, I agreed with him. I said, "Yeah, you're right. You know what? I went home early. I got paid for 8, for the last 3 weeks. The one time you tell me to stay and actually just do the full 8 hours, because I'm going to, instead of 2 of us going home early, now if I go help those two guys, now 4 of us are all going to go home a little bit early." And I used to always say, "Yeah, I agree with you." And so I use that when I was a manager too. I said, "Look, guys, just give me the courtesy of a phone call," because I said now, if he used to always tell me though, he said, "If I catch you going home early because either the customer called and said, 'Hey, you guys left the panel in trouble,' or you guys left, brown water on the floor and didn't clean it up or something like that, and you didn't let me know," he said, "then yes, I'm going to dock your ass because you should have taken care of the customer so we can keep them with us." He said, "But that he's only then will I, dock you." But I used to tell my guys, "Look, man, just help me out." Again, like you said, Brian, if I let you go home for 3 weeks in a row, and the one time I tell you to stay, don't bust me on the OT for it.
Yeah,
I may give you a little bit, but don't
absolutely.
don't bust me. It is a give and take, and I think again, being close with the guys I worked with, I think we had that understanding. And now every once in a while, you catch one going home, and it happened, especially once the GPSs came out. 'Cause like I said, they're on the little map and watch the little dots going up the road. And every once in a while, I used to be the cool thing about the GPS is that you could go in there and you could adjust the settings. And so this one time we were doing a job and the guy kept bragging about how close he was to his house. So most of the GPSs have a setting that will beep the van or the truck after you go over a certain speed limit. So I dropped it from like 65 to like 0. And so basically, as soon as he put the key in the van, it started beeping. After he called me and he's like, "What in the F is happening? This thing is going crazy." I was like, "Next time, don't be such a smart ass with everybody." He was like, "You can adjust that shit." I said, "You damn right I can."
That's fucking great. So the thing
It's
about
all about being
overtime,
it's
staying like
respect.
to stay
Respect.
late for I've really never had a scenario where I'm gonna stay late, like on company time. Like if I'm staying late, the GC's usually paying for it, and I'm not gonna be doing that shit for free.
It's more like kind of like a change order
It would
agreement
never, it would
on a
never be
job.
like if the job's running late, like my office would tell me like we're either gonna get extra guys the next day or like leave after your 8. We're not gonna pay you overtime. We don't need you there. Like they usually don't do like company approved overtime. Usually my overtime is paid for by the GC. All my overtime's double time, so the GC's paying 8 and my company's paying 8. And
Now you
so,
had to be there to supervise a lot, right?
well, I mean, I'm like by myself. It's like me and little Bobby, or usually I'm supervising myself.
Fill up and then drain down, and then you had to wait, and
It's a lot
then
of
a
wait, a
lot of that.
lot of waiting. And at one of my main campuses that was getting wicked smooth and everything was starting to go good. Now there's this new fire alarm guy, and he's wicked savvy with NFPA 241. And so,
Oh, really?
yeah, so it's a little bit of a pain. And like there's no one else that's having to deal with this shit except us, but he knows like, do you have a fire watch? We're doing construction, so you're taking the smokes out, you're taking the sprinklers down, you gotta have a fire watch. So I gotta, anytime this GC calls for a shutdown, I gotta make sure that I remember to tell my office to call BFD and get them to see if they can assign us a fire watch. It's this whole thing, and you obviously gotta pay for the fire watch, but yeah, it's pretty tough getting shutdowns now. And then like it will be a 6 o'clock start. We'll get in there. We'll get set up. I mean, it doesn't matter what you're setting up for. It doesn't take you that long to set up to where I gotta wait till 8 o'clock for a drain. Like this last week they didn't drain till 8. And
Well,
and we all know, and everyone in here knows that you could spin the butterfly and drain the system. And I can get going with my work, and we can figure out the alarms later when we go to fill. But these guys won't drain it unless the alarm guy is there to still take the points out because they don't even want the panel to beep.
well, it's also a hospital, so it's for people don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
this is true. It is a hospital as well, but yeah, I
evacuations
want
is
to I
pretty
want to drain I
serious.
want to drain that baby. So it ends up like my 8 hour day is really you know it's getting chopped down if we're
What
draining
you're
that 8.
doing, I don't know if I've ever said it, and it might just come, like whatever to everybody else, but what you're doing at the hospital every single day on those complex systems that they don't really have blueprints because you change it all the times. You're adding this wing, adding this room, and then it's always just so complex for you to do that and never have, a bad situation. Let's just say, it's super impressive what you're doing. I mean, you are.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean that needs to be said and recognized because that is nowhere near easy
I go into
at
Fridays
all.
now too. Like we had a big Friday shutdown where we got a bunch of guys piping heads, one guy on the machine, all of us wrenching pipe, and like we're draining and filling in a hospital on a the second floor on a Friday. And I know a lot of guys say that like they don't do that shit on Fridays. Like
Yeah, I'm one of those guys. I don't like to do anything
I've
crazy on a
always like
Friday.
Friday's a day, man. We gotta drain that shit to make money.
So at the I don't like to say names of buildings either, but at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, I was an inspector there for 2 years. I rebuilt the pump. I was heavily involved, but every single time I did something on a Friday, I would just have issues. Even this where the chief engineer was like, "Don't do anything on Fridays. You know what? Don't even come. Don't even come. Just come on Monday to Thursday."
Damn, what were you doing on Fridays, kid?
No, I was just doing normal stuff. It would just be an issue with a pre-action or a drive out, like simple stuff. Like really, like things would just be weird
Well, and then
and
so
something
we were
would go
piping
wrong.
as we're piping heads. The super's like, "Oh, so I'd like to relocate this main. It's into the They have like Cove lights are a big thing now. Like Cove lights in the hospital is like huge, and they run around like the perimeter. So the ceiling actually attaches to the Cove light. The light's flush with the ceiling, but the light is 9 or 10 inches tall. We all know we're just skating over the ceiling usually with our mains, and then they just go through the wall and it goes right through the Cove light. So I go over with little Bobby and we're looking at this main. I see two elbows and it comes down, and then the riser nipple is the same distance as the two elbows, and I just like look at it for a couple minutes. I'm like, oh yeah, we'll put that in perfectly. And I
Wow.
I didn't use any. All I used was all new 009s, and I took the riser nipple out of the branch line, and I just ended up turning the mechanical T on its side. Took the mechanical T off, screwed it onto the line because I don't have access to the other side of the wall, and then I just put the same mechanical T back on the hole. They just basically reused a bunch of shit, and it buttoned up perfectly. And that's the video where I was I was using the hammer saw. Broke out the old hammer saw. Oh, Chandler's over on Twitch all by himself.
Well, we appreciate you holding it
Y'all
down.
haven't smelled the seafood city dump veggies and fish crushed into a cube. Sprinkler work is unpredictable. No set time of going home. Nighttime is a great way to avoid employee traffic. I
Yeah.
love working at nights.
No,
I would
I
work all
do.
nights if I
I
could.
enjoy, but I don't. I like to work nights in a row, like 3, 4 nights in a row. I don't want to just work day shift, night, and then work day like that.
I like to stagger them like that.
That sucks.
No.
You do?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I love me like a Wednesday night shift on top of my 40. Just like a 9 o'clock start, 9:30 starts perfect at night. Put my kids to bed, fly into the city, work all night, making double time while they sleep. It's the best time to do it. And then if the shift goes right until 4 or 5 in the morning, then I can just drive to the next job, park the van, chill out for a little bit, maybe shut my eyes for an hour, and then we just go into the day shift.
Well, what do you think, Matt?
I used to do that shit all the time in my 20s when I first started doing sprinkler. Of course, it was a small company, and our boss knew that we were young and hungry for money. So kind of like Bobby, I would do a day shift, and he's like, "Hey, can you run and do this tenant job at night at the mall?" I'm like, "Yep, let's go do it." And like he said, I would go to the next job and be wearing the same clothes all day, get a couple hours sleep, and let's go start hanging pipe. But now in my 40s, hell no. Ain't no way I can do a double shift, or hell, we used to even do triple shifts where we would do day, night, day, and then go back home. And it's like, no. And of course, that was even way before like all the energy drinks that we could have had. I mean, that was
That's like the Wednesday would be, where I would work Wednesday day, hopefully get out at a good time where I can fly home. Obviously, my wife holds up her end of the bargain because I'm coming home, I'm sleeping until I got to go to my night shift, wake up, have dinner, put the kids to bed, go to the night shift, and then work the day. So you're doing day, night, day.
Yeah.
And
Can we all agree that
couple
6 or 7 a.m. is the best time to start a job?
6 a.m.
6 or 7,
I hate
yeah,
it.
it depends.
Do 7, you can get up at 5 instead of 4:30,
I
and
start
then have your
getting
coffee and
I
eat
start
and kind
getting
of
bad
relax.
feeling. I start getting
Roll
bad
out of
feelings if
6.
someone tells me I'm gonna get a 7 o'clock start job.
Oh,
Bad
really?
feeling. Yeah, dude, the traffic's awful. What? I'm still gonna have to wake up the same time and drive in at the same time because otherwise I won't get parking. The traffic's gonna be horrendous. So now I'm just gonna be there at 6 o'clock still and sit in my vehicle now until 7. And then what? Now my day's getting pushed till 3. That means traffic is triple, maybe quadruple. 7 o'clock start, awful. I'm not doing it. I'm gonna quit.
Is Boston like Atlanta? Like if you leave your house at 5, you can go anywhere in like 30 minutes to an hour.
Oh yeah, like if you're leaving somewhere in Massachusetts at 5 a.m. from Central Mass, I mean you can get, yeah. There's no traffic. Everyone's
Yeah,
just
but
going
if
the
I
normal
leave
speed
at
limit.
5:30, I'm screwed. So that 5 a.m. is that you
If I leave at 5 a.m., I'll make it to the city in like 54 minutes. If you leave at 5:30, it's probably gonna take you an hour 10.
yeah.
That
What
used to
about
be
you, Matt?
that was a joke we used to do in the DC area too, because we used to work either 5:30, 6, and we used to joke. We used to say that all of our managers, because there was only like going from Virginia into DC, there was one main bridge, the 14th Street Bridge, and we used to joke because the guys coming home back then they had the HOV, and so we would have 2, 3 guys in the truck. So if you had the HOV, you could go a lot faster. So we used to joke all the sprinkler managers would park themselves on the 14th Street Bridge and watch all their sprinkler trucks go across the bridge, because all they was like, every sprinkler truck you could think of was heading home at the same time, because they're like, we're effing, we had to get out of DC, because if you're in DC leaving at, I think the HOV kicked on at like 3:30, so everybody had to be out of there. So like we were joking that all the managers are sitting on the bridge watching all their trucks going across and going home.
Yeah, a lot of
What's
people would say that
crazy?
2 o'clock, like you had to leave the city at 2, and that's kind of like
Yeah, that's how it is in
it's
Atlanta.
it's
2
it's
2
kind of
p.m. You
like
got to be out of there.
and now everyone knows that rule. So leaving at 2 now is even a little hectic. But if you leave at 2:30, you're fucked. Everything, every rotary, every corner, every on ramp is just they're all just getting more and more jammed the whole way.
No,
I get a lot of
absolutely.
lights on my way home. Like I fight traffic lights the whole way.
Yeah, even in DC, we used to have guys that actually would ask if they could opt out of, city work, because not only did you have to worry about parking, But like sometimes the parking,
parking.
they actually would like mark your tires where you had to park in different zones. You had to move your vehicles around. You had red light cameras, speed cameras everywhere. And guys were like, look, I'd rather go, an hour and a half into the country doing an inspection or a job than you send me to the city because it was a hassle for parking. Either it was expensive or your truck couldn't fit into the parking deck. That guys used to laugh when I used to do inspections because I used to be, I was a very polite person to inspect to engineers, but not when it came to parking. My first thing to most engineers was not, "Hey, how you doing? I'm Matt Bass here to do inspection." It was like, "Where the f is the parking? I'm not doing anything until you give me some parking."
For real. And
Oh man,
all them
parking's
buildings in the
terrible
city
down
all
there.
have a special spot that they can put you if you just say the right thing.
Yep.
Don't say you're the sprinkler guy or any of that. You got to give them life safety, fire protection, like say words that just hit them hard. This is I'm here to work on your fire protection system, it's life safety, Tell them you're gonna call chief if they don't give you a parking spot.
I mean, that's why when I was running jobs, like people would beg me for warehouse jobs. Hey, you got this new construction warehouse. Can I be on that?
Why?
Mainly for the parking because they
Oh, the
didn't want to
big
go and
parking.
fight
Yeah.
Atlanta.
Yep.
Traffic in DC sucks. From Ross. Service is 26 hours a day, 8 days a week. No pump work on Fridays. All work is a go. No pump work on Fridays, huh? I have a few customers uptight about doing anything on Friday. Always worried something would happen over the weekend. I don't know. I gotta get shit done on Fridays, whatever you need. Whatever sprinkler job you got on a Friday, if someone tells you that they're not gonna do it, give me a buzz, 'cause I'll come and do it. I'm not scared. Friday's just like a Wednesday, you know? Can't have bad
Man,
luck when you only have good luck.
it's already been a freaking hour.
That was a quick
Man,
hour. I just
Matt,
looked at
can
that
you
too.
come on again?
Yeah, of course.
Well, I mean,
I
we're
mean,
not even scratching the surface of anything, but we're having a good time.
that's how we always do it. When people talk about fire protection, that's why my wife always just looks at me sometimes and goes, "Is that all you talk about?" And I'm like, between that, Star Wars, and gaming, yes, that's all I talk about.
What game are you playing?
I play a little bit of everything. I actually just got my new handheld. It's called Legion Go.
Oh, look at
Okay,
that friggin' thing. That's huge, dude.
that's cool.
Oh yeah,
I've been playing Fortnite with my kid, my
Oh,
7-year-old
really?
son. Yeah, he plays Fortnite with his buddies. So
You
he's
haven't
like,
got kicked off yet?
no, I didn't get the hacks. I kept the
I
hacks
did.
off.
I bought a shooting game for me for when my wife travels for work. That way, like at night, instead of just kind of hanging out, I'll play that little game when she's gone. It's fun.
it's funny you
It's
mentioned Fortnite, Bobby. I do the same thing. My son got me into it, and now I think I do it more than he does.
Yeah, no, I got the computer. I'm ready to go. So like I played Minecraft with him for a bit. That got pretty addicting, and Fortnite's cool now that I get the hang of it. I was a big Call of Duty guy until I got perma banned. I got a IP address ban, hardware ban. I was doing a little cheating on COD.
yeah. It's got a
That
little
shit was so
beat up.
fun. That shit was so fun. So yeah, the Activision gods came down. They told me no more. I'm not allowed to play any Activision games. I tried like making new emails and getting a VPN. They still no. So
So I
no
think
cheating.
I think on Thursday we're gonna have several people on and kind of do like a
Oh yeah,
one of our
we'll do a social on Thursday. If anyone wants
yeah
to come on,
social.
whatever you want to talk about, so bring a topic, bring some
And then
friends.
on the yeah, so I think that's what we'll do. So get on the Discord. Let's talk about a topic for the show, and we'll go over that topic.
And who
Um,
wants to come on the social and talk and say some shit?
yeah, yeah. So everybody but what's his name?
Damn,
Is it
18
Daryl?
people.
Everybody but Daryl's allowed to come
Yeah,
on the
Daryl's
show.
not here tonight. I wonder what he's doing.
I told you his wife wanted him. He
Cheating
had to
on
go
COD.
clean the
Laugh ass.
kitchen or
Let's see him
something.
here.
So
You
on the
gotta flash your
14th we had
hardware IP.
Jonathan Carl, and then on the 16th we have NAFCO. Excited for that one. They've been doing big things, and then we have a couple of other shows that we'll get to when it gets closer. But we're getting close to our 100th episode. Matt, we want you to come back on for the 100th episode, and I think we want to bring in like the OGs from the beginning,
What are we
like
on now?
those guys
We're on
that did it from
91.
the beginning,
92.
and I think that show will be just awesome. Just kind of talking about how the show progressed and from the beginning and what we've like our experiences with the first year, and I think it'll be cool. Be cool. Hopefully, Bobby won't get all sentimental and
92, 93, 94,
cry
95,
on air. That'll be ugly, but
96, 97, 98, 99,
this
100.
is not very entertaining. Can you count without speaking?
No, I'm trying to see what we're gonna be
Are you
doing on
using your fingers?
100. No, I got my calendar right here, kid.
90, 91,
20.
92,
You
93.
said you booked up the 21st. We need to book up the 28th, the 30th, and then the 5th and the 7th, and then I think our 100th will be on the 12th.
Is that right? Wow.
It's crazy.
Man,
And our
that'll
but
be
our and
sick.
our and our 1 year is on like the 2nd,
Yeah,
right? Does that make sense? I'm
I don't
pulling it up real
remember.
quick. Stand by, people. Stand by. December 2nd with Jeremy and Chris. December 2nd it was. Okay.
That was like our first one
Our
outside of the us
our
figuring
our
trying to
first one
figure
with
things out.
people, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry, December 4th. December
December
4th. And the
4th.
number on 100 is going to be on December 12th. Damn, that's pretty crazy. Maybe we can. All right.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. We got to plan that a little bit better.
I've been talking to you every single day for a year.
My God.
Every day.
Crazy. I've heard some of them stories a fucking 100 times now. All right, guys. As always, we appreciate you watching. There's 18 people in here. Just watch the end of that. Appreciate you guys not all
Thank y'all for for the
dwindling away.
babbling.
Oh man, I think we ended up getting 14 likes. You guys were really crushing it every time
Wow.
I asked you. Look at that. 13. Oh, all right, come on, one more. As always, hit the subscribe button. Invite some friends. You got a sprinkle guy that doesn't know about us. Invite him on. You want us to talk to him or interview him? Let us know. Like Brian said, get on the
Yeah,
Discord. Oh yeah,
merchandise
get
too.
some
Come and
hats.
support the dope and tape.
That's
Get some
it. Get a
hats, some
hat.
shirts.
Get a shirt. My spread shop. You see that up at the top. And get on the Discord and we'll talk about the social on Thursday. Who wants to come on? What we should talk about. And thank you for all the interactions in the chat. Tonight's been awesome. Appreciate you guys.